extremely long-winded explanation I just gave you, right? Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sneha and welcome to my April and May wrap-up of books that I've read. I was preparing for something in the month of May, so that's why I was pretty tied up, and that's why there have been no videos for the past month, and that's why there has not been a wrap-up video for April as well. But I am back. I hope to film a lot of book videos and vlogs and stuff like that because I really do enjoy putting them out. And yeah, anyway, getting back to wrap-ups, I mentioned in my previous wrap-up videos that I wanted to do a ranking for each of the months of the books that I've read for that particular month. Not exactly a full-scale ranking, but just choose the best book and my most let down book for that particular month. So the standings until March, just to recap, are this for my best books of 2022. Quite a diverse range. I have many different genres and many different themes going on, and my letdowns for 2022 are equally as different. That it'll be up on the screen right now. So let's see what gets added to these rankings for April and for May. In April, I ended up reading only 4 books, out of which one was a very short story and also one was an audiobook. So it was a very lean reading month for me. So that's why it's a little bit difficult to talk about my best and my least favorite books of the month, but let's start. First book that I finished is Galatea by Madeline Miller. This was the short story that I was talking about. This is only a 32-page short story that I found on Scribd, and because it's Madeline Miller and I think I will end up reading everything that woman will ever write, I picked it up. Like I said, this is a short story about a goddess who has been sculpted from marble by a very skilled sculptor who is kind of like tired by the real women who surround him, and he wants to create the perfect women for himself. So he sculpts this marble statue and she comes to life and she becomes his wife. Now she is supposed to be like obedient and perfection personified, and be servile and subservient to her master, but of course it is not. But she yearns for freedom and she starts to use her beauty to achieve her means and her ends. So I don't want to ruin this story, so that's why I don't want to give away too much. For a 32-page volume, this book is amazing. I mean, it packs a punch. And how we are told the story from Galatea's perspective, who is the statue brought to life, and she is just a woman who is so complex, who has a myriad of emotions that unfold in that just 32-page volume, and we get to see it play out. And I just love anything and everything that Madeline Miller writes. I will gobble it up. It was too short for me. I need a full-scale novel from this woman, and yeah, I finished it in like an hour, I guess. I don't remember, but I absolutely loved it. More than the actual book itself, I enjoyed the afterword, which is again written by Miller herself, the author, and therein she stated the inspiration from that story and how she wanted to tie in with this, with the societal structure that we still find ourselves in. Like, she wanted to weave in the beauty of a myth with current societal structure, and the way she explains herself is so beautiful. I absolutely loved it, and I would recommend you to read this 100%. So I ended up rating this 5 stars out of 5, and I need a full-scale novel from Madeline Miller, so please give it to me. Then I finished this Chongster, The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. This is a historical fiction book. It also has like elements of magical realism. It's set in the 1600s, and Samuel Pepys is the world's greatest detective, and he is being transported by the Dutch East Indies from this island to Amsterdam, and because of reasons unknown, he is imprisoned by the master of the ship for some crime that we aren't yet told. On the ship also with him is Samuel Pepys's assistant, almost, who's kind of like apprentice, and he decides to crack the mystery of why exactly Samuel Pepys is in jail, because nobody's talking about why he's in jail. And also there are these mysterious things unfolding on the ship itself. So yeah, so his apprentice kind of becomes the master, and he goes to solve the murder, kind of. The reason I picked this one up is because I really enjoyed Stuart Turton's first book, which is The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Yeah, you can see it right here. I really enjoyed that. Like, it made my head hurt in the best possible way, and I was hoping that this would be that, but unfortunately my head hurt for a different reason with this book. It is just very long-winded. The characters are either very preachy or very bad. There are a few characters who are in the middle gray area, but they're not very likable, unfortunately, and the story just unfolds in this very meandering fashion, which just loses me. Like, the author tries very hard to weave this net of complex characters, of storylines, of plot lines, of mysterious things happening, of past crimes, of past historical events, but it just gets lost because of the complexity. Like, I don't think he was able to pull it all in together to create a fast-paced narrative, which was what I found in his other book. So unfortunately I was a little let down with this book. As you can see, it's a pretty big tome, and it does take you effort and energy to get through it. So I would not recommend this book if you're looking for a light summer kind of read. It's not that. And in generally also, I did not enjoy this book as much as I thought I would. So unfortunately have been let down by this book, and I will probably rate it 2.5 to 3 stars out of 5. So yeah, that I finished was The Cartographers by Penny Shepherd. This is a 2022 release, and it is dark academia, mystery, suspense kind of a book. In this story, Nell Young, she is the daughter of a world-renowned cartographer, and she also shares the same passion and love for maps as her father. They work together, and unfortunately, because of one incident, he fires her and she cuts off all contact with him. Few years down the line, she gets a call that her father has passed away, and when she gets, goes back to meet her father's colleagues and his friends and gets into his life once again, she gets embroiled in this mystery, which is tied to why exactly he fired her in the first place. It takes her back to her father's doctoral days, when he and a bunch of friends are working on a thesis together, and they encounter like this phenomenon related to maps, and they're all as passionate about maps and the art and science of maps as her father is and as she is. In the beginning, I was very much taken by this book because I was getting to know about cartography, the art and science of making maps. I had never really realized that the making of maps in itself is such like a passion for a lot of people, and that historical maps are just so valued and are actually pieces of art and pieces of timeless pieces and priceless pieces almost. I really didn't know that. So in that aspect, I really enjoyed learning more about cartography and the people who are obsessed with the cartography. The reason I didn't rate this book higher, I ended up rating it only 2.5 stars, is because I figured out the mystery, and the time taken from when I figured it out and till to the time taken by the author to reveal it is just too long. Too many things happen in this book that are really unnecessary, and it was really clear to me who the main villain was and what the lead up to it was leading to. So I was disappointed with the story, but I really enjoyed the audiobook. So yeah, a dark academia book which I don't think has lived up to its hype. So unfortunately, I rated it only 2.5 stars out of 5. And then the last book that I finished in April was Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I will not go too much into this because I have an entire vlog filmed, which I'll link up above. Do check it out, where I explain the plot of this, where I explain my journey of reading through it and my final words on it and my final review. Safe to say, I really enjoyed this. I have given it 4.5 stars out of 5. The only reason that half a star was deducted is also because it is a little bit too long, and the reveal again is quite easy to figure out. But apart from that, the entire setting, the language, the words, the atmosphere that the author has managed to create is top notch. It is a pandemic book, so disclaimer for that, but it is a pandemic book that stops only for a little bit on the pandemic part, but then jumps into a dystopia science fiction part. So if you're okay with that, then do check out this book. Really enjoyed this. Now comes the difficult part, choosing my best read and like my least favorite read of this lot. Like, two of them really stood out for me, like you just saw, and two of them were really meh for me. So I'm really struggling. So usually I have an idea before I film about what is like my best and my worst read in my mind, but this time I really don't know what is my best read, because I really enjoyed Station 11, but Galatea of course has my heart. But also Galatea is only a 32-page short story, so it's really difficult to not do that well, whereas Station 11 is a full-scale novel, so of course it will probably have a little flaws. I'm so torn. Like, theoretically, by just maths alone, the winner has to be Galatea, because I did give it 5 stars, but I'm just so torn. You know what? Let's give maths the win. The best book for April for me has to be Galatea by Madeline Miller, and that goes straight onto the ranking, which I'll put up here. So that's how my best books for 2022 stand until I talk about my May books. And talking about my least favorite book of the lot, I will probably have to give it to The Devil in the Dark Water. It's not a bad book. It was just, amongst the 4 I read, I did not enjoy this as much as I had hoped to. So it was a bigger letdown for me than the other one, which is The Cartographers. And yeah, I was just very like frustrated by the length of this book, so I just did not enjoy my time with it as much as I enjoyed The Cartographer. So this goes in my letdowns for 22 for April. This is from editing me set in the future. I just realized that while filming, I did talk about the May wrap up a lot, and I did intend this to be one video, but I blabbered a lot about the May books, and also the video is not in the right frame, which I didn't realize. I was kind of in a hurry to finish, so that's why the May wrap up will be in a different video. So thank you so much for watching the April wrap up. I will get back to you very soon with all the books that I read in May and rank them accordingly. If you're still watching, please subscribe, and I will see you very soon.